with us. Otherwise, we can also do it. Okay. Now, Mansi, can you share the tutorial?
Yes, just a second. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is.
So guys, these are some of the basic questions that we want you to practice. And you can use either C or C++. Uh, so is there anyone who is not familiar with C or C++? Like not even with the basic syntax.
Mansi, can you just zoom in on the PDF a
Yes,
bit?
yes, yes.
Okay, now it is better.
Yes. We can do this 10 question first. So there are some students who are not familiar with C and C++.
Yeah, Ananya, I think is raising hand. Yeah, go ahead and what's up? Bha- Bhavya, Bhavya, what is the doubt? I think you are raising hand.
Sir, I do not have any experience in C and C++.
Okay. So, what language did you use for call 100?
Sir, ML and Python.
Python. Okay, no problem. So, C
Yes,
has
sir.
a like,
We don't have any doubt in particular, but like we are not familiar with the syntax and all of C or C++.
Yes, sir.
oh, okay, ठीक है, no problem. So, we will show you some basic hello world codes. I think that will be easier to, yeah, grasp for now. And what you can do is, so you know Python and you know how, you know the logic of code, right? You know, if when will you need the while loop, when will you need the for loop. You just need to write it in C. That's the issue, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for this, I think you'll have to constantly check out. I think we can share some of the syntax links and you can study, and we can show you some of the basic codes like hello world and also other codes if you want. But so as far as we can, as far as it is possible, we will try not to directly show you the code so that you can try it yourself. And what we'll do is we'll share links of websites where you can just find out syntax. So in this case, you know the logic of code, you can just find out what syntax is required for which logic. And so this way you'll learn like better, and not, you don't have to memorize everything at all at once. There are many websites like Geeks for Geeks and Tutorial Point and everything. We will share some of the links and you can also find out yourselves. And every syntax which you want to include in C, you can just look it up and yeah, look it up like what you wanted to do in Python, and just look it up how to do it in C. And basic one or two code we can show now. So if you want to just print the hello world, we can show it now.
Yes, just a second. I have shared this tutorial sheet in the chat box so that they can download it and do as per their convenience. And Yes. So, Mohit, you were saying something that you will be showing some of the basic syntax.
Yeah, so I will show you one of the codes. Just give me some time to open the editor and I will show you how to compile and execute a simple hello world code. Okay.
And meanwhile, those who know how to write codes in C or C++ can start solving some of the questions from the PDF that I have shared in the chat.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just do Control N to open a new file and save it here, like hello underscore world. Let's see. First, what we'll have to do is put stdio.h. Okay. So this, if you write something like this also, this editor will give you a prompt. What is the correct thing? So you can do. So this is also nice. And VS Code also some prompts will be provided. So you can. Now you have to write the main function. Okay. And printf hello world started in C. And you have to add a semicolon after every line of code. That you didn't have to do in Python, but here you have to do. And also you didn't have to define a main function even to write a hello world code in the Python, but you have to define a main function every time you write a C or C++ code. And similarly, I can show this in C++ also. What I'll do is I'll do hello underscore world dot cpp. So one thing you can know is that C and C++, so C++ can use the syntax of C because it is made on top of C only. So and but there are some more convenient methods to do printf and uh, to go for loop and everything in C++. So if you know C, then you can compile and run C++ codes also. And similar things you'll have to do in C, like printf. I can use printf here also, but I can use include stdio.h here also, but now in CPP we should use iostream. We can just write void main or int main, anything will work. So int main, you'll have to do a return 0 at the end, and void main you don't have to return anything. So what we can do is cout hello world starting with C++, and you can write endl. Endl just means that you have changed the line, or you can just not include this and write the semicolon. So this is it, and you don't have to return 0 here because this is the function type is void, so you don't have to return anything here. Just save it. I'll save both the codes. Okay. I think. Okay, I think I've changed the. Yeah, no problem. Now I will go to command prompt and I will go to this folder. What I'll do is, there is an easy way to do this. So here I have this folder, right? So what I'll do is I'll just write cmd here and it will open the command prompt at this folder. Okay. Now I want to execute the C code. So I will write first what I'll show you that how will you know that C and C++ compiler is working here. So you can just check gcc dash version.
Hey Mohit, I think you just shared only one tab.
Okay. Just give me a minute. So can you see the whole screen now?
No, I mean, I couldn't see that. Yes, now it is visible.
Okay. So what I was talking about is, just wait a minute. So here are both the codes, right? You have to go to this folder in the command prompt to run the code. This you must be knowing because you have done the Python. So you'll just write cmd here and the cmd command prompt will open in this folder. Now how to check if gcc c library, c compiler library or c++ compiler library is working or not? Just type gcc dash version c. So here built by msys2. So this is one way to install the compilers, and you can see that it is working. And also I'll try g++. Plus is also working. Now I'll compile the code. So you have to write gcc and the name of the code. So if you don't write anything else, that is also fine, and it will make a executable file in that folder, right? If you want to have the name of the executable file in a specific, like you want a specific name and you don't want hello world.exe, then you can also write this thing -o a.exe. So this will create an executable file in the same folder, which upon running will execute the code, right? So what I'll do is I will just do nothing. Okay. No such. Okay, so the problem is I have used hello world and not world. So it is compiled now, and you can see that an executable file named a has formed here, right? Now you just have to do a.exe. Now you can see that hello world I've started in C has popped up here. Similar thing you can do with G++. Hello world.cpp. So now I'll try this thing, and I will give it b.exe. Hello world. So I'll have to check what file name I have saved. So I have wrongly saved it as hello world. So I'll have to give hello world here. Okay. See out has given an error. So I'll go to the code once more.
सर iostream.ht लिखना होता है क्या?
Stream dot. So yeah, I'm also trying this syntax. Maybe I'm wrong.
सर बस आयो स्ट्रीम लिखना होता है।
C++ में .h नहीं लगता actually.
Main must return int. Oh, I think
Sir.
void main we cannot use it. I'll try with int.
सर रिटर्न 0 मिसिंग है।
Okay, C++ hello. So what I will do is, so I'll do hello world only. Link to standard output. Okay.
Sir, std : semi मतलब.
Right. This is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It should run now. It has compiled properly. Cannot execute the specific program. Okay, so there are some standard libraries like stdlib and everything. So I think C++ will need another standard library. stdlib. Maybe this will work. I'm not sure. One more thing, if you compile it again, then the executable file will just update. Okay, stdlib.h. So I'm also not sure of this syntax. Maybe I'll have to check it out. No, it's just an error. So I'll check it out and get back to you guys. I think I'll have to see. So instead of this, maybe you can use some online compiler also if you don't want to install everything. And if you want to do in C and you don't know the syntax, right? So online compilers may even prompt better than this text editor.
Sir, using name std space std is missing.
Using what?
Namespace.
Using namespace std.
सर वहाँ
Using
नहीं
names-
int main के ऊपर आएगा। हाँ include के नीचे
Using
हाँ
namespace.
using
Is this right?
तो space दीजिए using space
यूजिंग
फिर
के बाद
Space std. Is this fine?
semicolon
Semicolon.
नहीं सही है सर वही
Now I have to use std here.
no sir it will directly work I guess.
Yes, sir. Now we don't need to use std.
So this is only for those who don't know C++.
सर आपने वो हटा दिया डबल से।
मैंने क्या हटा दिया?
यूजिंग
ओके,
नेम
मैंने ये
स्पेस
हटा दिया।
हाँ हम्म,
Okay, so this syntax is working here. Yeah, so you guys can try it out. The tutorial sheet I think Mansi has shared in the
Yes, it
chat.
is there in the chat box. Also, I have shared 2 links for online compiler. You guys can use that. Like if some of you haven't installed any compiler yet, so you can solve these questions on this online compiler. Okay, and
Okay.
by the end of the tutorial, you will need to show at least like 2 to 3 questions that you have done, and also it would be better if you select questions like randomly. Okay, not just following like a direct order. And we can also ask you the algo of any of the question in the that is there in the tutorial sheet. Okay.
So I hope the people who had no prior knowledge of C got some idea how to just start with it. You have to add a library, then you have to, I think C++, if you want to print anything, you have to use this std using namespace std syntax, and then you have to start with the int main. Int main is the main function which will be executed every time you compile and run the code. So if there is nothing in the main function and you have made other functions, like if I make int add and like give int n1 comma int n2, and I will write c out n1 plus n2. Although I have made another function and return, so I'll have to do return. I have not called it here. See, it is similar to Python here. If you have to make another function and call it, if I have not called that function in the main, then it will not run. So you'll have to call any function you make in the main function to run it. Okay. So basic things are these only. So I'll stop presenting now because I don't want you to just let me write the code. So you can try it yourself.
Sir, in the first question in tube sheet, do we have to just write a code which adds to number or show how it is adding to numbers?
What do you mean by show how it is adding?
Like, do we have to write all the steps of the process? Something. Or
Okay,
just write
one
a
more
program
thing
to add to
I
numbers?
forgot to mention actually. So yeah, this is an important point actually. So every tutorial which you'll have to submit, actually you'll have to make a report of the code what you have written. Report how the algorithm has progressed. Okay, so in the code you just have to, you don't, if you don't even comment and write what was the algorithm and why this is done. So sometimes to get a better understanding and to keep it to keep the loop continued, I mean, if you have written a code and then you revisit it after some time, you may have forgotten it. So if you comment out and write the meaning of the line which you have written, so it is better that way. But if you don't do it in the code, that's also fine, but you have to make it a report whenever you submit any tutorial file, right? So what I think she's asking is whether to make a report or not. I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
So whenever you need to submit, you have to make a report on every question you have submitted a code on. Okay. That's it.
Sir, report in the sense, do we need to include the comments?
So comments, I have said that comments is for your understanding. Commenting in the code is to when you revisit it, you can remember quickly what you have written. But if you don't write the comments, so it is better practice for any programmer to write comments in the code. And because there will be many functions sometimes and you may forget it after some time. So commenting is a better practice, but it is not compulsory that you write the comment to submit. That's I'm leaving up to you. uh, so whatever you like you can do, but you have to submit a report whenever you are asked to submit an assignment. That's it. And
So
that
report with
report
a
should be in
screenshot.
PDF.
Okay, PDF.
हाँ, स्क्रीनशॉट्स नहीं, रिपोर्ट में पूरा एक्सप्लेनेशन होना चाहिए जो भी तुमने किया है. सो विल टॉक अबाउट इट इन द नेक्स्ट ट्यूटोरियल when we give you maybe the first one to submit. So we can also discuss it in next one. Okay. You don't have to worry about right now.
I think we have given enough time for you guys to attend the questions. So now we will be starting from the first question. Would anyone like to volunteer for the first question? Yes, Purvi.
Ma'am, do I show my code or?
Yes, you can share your screen. You can explain, like others will also get to learn.
Okay. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
No, I can't see.
Okay.
Others also keep your codes ready for the next question. Yes,
Ma'am, is it visible?
now it is visible.
So this is my code, which I wrote for addition of two numbers. First, I took two numbers A and B and scanned both of them. Then I took a number C, in which I added both A and B, and finally I printed C. So
Yes. I hope
this,
this
fine.
question is now clear for everyone. If any of you has any doubt, you can ask us right now. It was a very simple question, just to add two numbers. Okay, I think there's no doubt. If we can move ahead with the next question. Thanks, Purvi, for sharing. Guys, you have to make this lab interactive. Okay, like soon in the next lab, we will be announcing some of the important announcements. So it's better if you start doing some interactions from the first lab itself. Yes, Abhishek.
Yes, ma'am. I'll share my screen just a minute.
Yes, sure. Others also need to pay attention. Okay, like at the end, we can ask any of you randomly to explain the algorithm of any of the questions.
Is my screen visible right now?
Not yet.
Okay. It's still loading. Would it be okay if I sent a screenshot in the chat?
I mean, it would be better if you could share and then explain simultaneously. It's okay, like we can wait for a minute.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I had something to ask in the last question. Can I ask it till that time?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, so I haven't really dealt with C prior to this. And when Puri was explaining her solution, she said that she scanned the variables A, B. So, and there was a particular syntax with the sign. So, like, I'm not familiar with that. Could you please explain that? The scanning part, she said.
Ubi, would you like to answer?
Okay. So basically, we have to give the input. So for giving input, we use the command scanf, and uh, because I was using integers, so I wrote %d in that code.
Okay, so when we are scanning the variables, we use %d.
No, %d is for integers because I was putting integer values. So that's why I used %d. For scanning, we used and the integer. Like, ma'am, should I share my screen again?
Yes, you can do it. While in C++, like it's simple C in and C out. Okay, but in C, you have to follow the syntax.
Okay, my code. Yeah, so here I used scanf and then %d for two numbers, two integers, and a and b for scanning. While in printing, we use printf, same integer, and here we don't use and, we just use c.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Cool. And Mansi ma'am, I had this one doubt more that I had used Visual Code prior to this, but as I said, didn't deal with C. So when I'm trying to run the code, it is asking me to get an extension. So what extension is that I need to download?
Mohit sir, can you please
So
explain?
yeah, so in Visual Code, you need to set up the software for any type of programming, and okay, so there are many extensions. What I'll do is I will send you those what are the full process, and I'll try it myself. I have not tried. For now, try the editor, Sublime or Notepad++, and work the tutorial, because yeah, now is the time to work the tutorial, and yeah, this you can do in off time also.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
If anybody is having issues with editor and not able to compile the code, then you can tell us. And yeah, the people who have not tried C before, I hope you got some idea, and anywhere you get stuck, you can just Google it, how to use the syntax, and yeah, just make it a habit of Googling everything. You can find everything there.
Ma'am, I tried sharing, but it's still not sharing.
Ma'am,
I can
may
send.
I?
You can just explain like that only. I mean, without
Yeah, I can
sharing.
send a screenshot.
Okay, send a
Yes,
screenshot.
okay, you can do that. Yes, it is visible to everyone. Now you can explain. Abhijit, can you please explain your solution?
Oh, sorry, I was muted the whole time. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So first, I've used C++ for this code. First, I ask the user to input the number of Fibonacci terms they need. And then I initialize the variable called n, which stores the number of terms. And I scanned it from the terminal. Then I initialize the 0th and first term of the Fibonacci series, 0 and 1. And then I first printed them out to the terminal. And then I used a loop, a while loop, which calculates the next Fibonacci term and prints it out. So the next Fibonacci term is given by n minus 2 plus n minus first term gives the nth term. So C is equal to A plus B. Then I printed out C. And then I copied the value of B into A and C into B so that I can go into the next loop with these new values. And then I decremented the value of n minus minus. And this loop went on till I got till n number of terms. And you can see the output below there.
Yes, good one.
Okay.
For the third question, anyone would like to volunteer? Urvi, do you have any doubts or are you volunteering?
Volunteering.
We will wait for a minute if anyone would like to share.
Yes, in the third question, I think some people asked what is process addition. So process is nothing. You just have to add two numbers like you did in first, and you have to do here for integers. So this is also one difference in C and Python, that in Python you don't have to declare or know the data type you are taking input, but in Python you have to give you should know what data type you want to give input. Like if you want to give integer input, you have to do %d. If you want to do float, you have to do %f. So that sort of thing we'll have to figure out.
Should I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so for the third problem, I used integer, two integer numbers, and then performed addition and multiplication without any condition. For subtraction, I used the condition that if x is greater than y, then subtract y from x and divide x by y. Else, just subtract y from x. Also, for division, I used float because division might not be integer. And then I printed the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So yeah, I got this as the output. when I use 12 and 3.
Can you just run the code once again and show it? Just run the code once again. Okay. So try have you taken input or just taken save two variables?
No, I have taken input. I have scanned X and Y as input, and then I
Can you
printed.
take different input and okay, 12. So you are giving input there. So you are giving input in a file. That's what.
I'm using an online compiler. Mine isn't working. So.
Okay. It's fine.
Did anyone try fourth question? Other than Pooh? Anyone else? Right, these questions will give you a very good practice of the C or C++ syntax. So even if you are not able to do question in today's lab, you have a complete 1 week to try solving these questions, and also you can try out the syntax. Because even in the policy that ma'am has shared with you earlier, it is clearly mentioned that you have to use C or C++ for the assignment. And since you all have done call 100, so like there won't be much different. At least you know the basic programming, what is programming, you know how to write code. So there's just you just need to learn how to write those programs that you have written in other languages in C or C++. Okay, and Google is always there to help you out. So like this won't be a major issue in writing the code that you don't know C or C++.
So anybody for question 4?
I can see only Purvi's hand raised. Anyone else would like to try?
Yeah, are you guys facing any issue in 4? Because this is very easy. These are very easy questions here. No issues. Okay, Purvi, you can go ahead and show your solution.
For this, I used the similar code. Just I didn't use int. Instead of that, I used float. And instead of %d, I wrote %f. Rest was similar. And then I gave the input of 12.4 and 2.3. And it showed me the answer.
Okay, great. So next question, you have to enter numbers in array. Okay. Array, there's a different. Hriday, Goel, do you want to ask something?
No, sir, I have attempted the question.
Okay. So you can show it.
Yes, sir.
And if you know Python, then you can try to tell the difference between C and Python code also. That will be also helpful.
No, sir, I will not be able to do that. Sir, I
Okay,
have
no
used C++,
problem.
I have used C++, I have not used C. So here, basically, I have declared an array. Then I have asked like how many values does the user want to enter. Then I have input the values. Then I have input the data that the user wants to search for, and then basically I have just, if I find that data, I just store the index of that particular value, and then I return it. So I run the code here, and then like I did this with 5 values. So basically, like what we have done is we have first we have like basically we have compared each value with the required data that the user wants to search for, and then if we find the given data at any specific value, we just store that index in a variable, and then break it, because now we don't need to break the loop because we don't need to check like for the rest of the values. And then if we find the data, we just simply say that we found the data at this point.
Okay, good explanation. But in your code, you have already defined the size of the array. It's 100, and then you are asking uh, like this and the number of values that the user would like to enter. So even like what you can do it, since you're already asking for the n, you can define the array after taking the array size as an input. Then you can define its the size.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, because if the user will enter more than 100, then it
yes,
will be error.
yes, and even like if a user enters 5, or then the other space will be just wasted.
Hmm. Okay, got it.
Okay. Next question. Anyone who want to explain that? Maybe if you have not written the code, just explain what you want to do in that question.
You can also explain the algorithm like in any of the language. Is it how you will proceed to the question?
You'll have to also explain what is the question and then the algorithm, both the things, right? So Purvi is volunteering. Anybody else want to try? This is a sorting question, so this is where yeah, you start giving some amount of effort. Okay, so what we'll do is Purvi, if you want to try, just give one algorithm of sorting what you want to do.
So should I my screen? Or
Have you written the code already?
yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Then you can share it. No problem.
Yes. So this is my code. First, I defined 4 integers. N is the number of variables which we will take in the array. Then I defined the array for n
So
integers.
what? Just a minute. So what will be better, right? So you just explain the algorithm first, and then when get us through the code. So that will be more clearer. So how do you proceed with the question? So that's more important than showing the code?
First, I started by seeing the first term and the second term in that, the I plus 1th term, and I compared all both the terms and then reassigned the position of that term if it was greater or if it was lesser than the number we are comparing it to. And like that, I checked all the consequent numbers and just reassigned their positions.
Can you tell what's this process of sorting is called?
I forgot what this process is called.
Also, can you?
I guess bubble sort. I guess.
Is this bubble sort? But also, can you tell what is the time complexity?
N square.
O(n) square. Okay. And what other sorting algorithms can you do in O(n) square?
O(n). So
Sushank.
Selection sort.
Selection sort, exactly. So so O(n) square, I hope you must be able to understand that O(n) square is the time complexity. Means if you give us an array of size n, then the worst case scenario, it will take n square units of time or proportional to n square units of time to execute the code. And can anyone suggest a better or a more time efficient way?
yes, sir. I have O of n.
O of n.
Time.
Okay. And which sorting is that? O of n.
वो तो नहीं पता. Sir, I don't know.
नहीं पता. ठीक है.
Sir, I know
is this binary sort?
merge sort algo. मतलब there is a merge sort करके sorting algo which is better than O(n) square. I guess it's O मतलब n log n or something.
N log n, right? Okay, so can you explain merge sort in like 5 steps? What you'll do? Maybe if you can write it in your notepad and show the screen. Not
No,
you don't
sir.
have to. You cannot explain merge sort?
No, sir, no. I forgot about the algo thoda bahut.
Okay. Can anyone else try merge sort?
Sir, I guess merge sort uses recursion of the code.
Yes.
You split the given array into maybe 2 sets. The basic code is that you split a given array into 2 parts, and you keep on doing that until you reach the base condition, which may be a single element or 2 elements which can be compared. And when you go on recurring this, the whole array gets sorted.
Right. So why do you think this has O of n log n time complexity? So you don't have to, I mean, you don't have to worry about time complexity, but I'm just asking if anyone knows, so just to make it interactive.
Sir, we weren't taught that much of time complexity in all 100.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, basic selection sort and basic bubble sort will also work. Those are having O of n square, and yes, merge sort is a better option, which is O of n log n, and similarly quick sort also is a better option. So why I'm saying that you should try every sorting option, because that will give you practice, and you can just complete it by selection sort or bubble sort. But if you try other options, more efficient way, you'll have to write maybe a function for merge sort, like recursively, and if you try, you will just get practice and nothing more than it. Okay, so I hope sorting is clear for everyone, and next we can move on to next question, I think. Typecasting, do anyone want to do that? I think it's very simple. Anyone having issue with typecasting? No.
So I have a doubt in typecasting. Like, how do I do that? Like, do I just scan an integer and then print its float value, or does it use something else?
Okay, so what do you mean by float value of an integer? So okay, integer, the float value is fine, but but if you want to input a string, let us say if you are taking input of a character, and if you typecast it in a integer, so what do you think you will get?
Error.
So it will not work. But if you have the string as a like number, like if you take a character 1, which is a character variable, and now you want to use it as a number, then it will be useful, right? If you use it as string and typecast it into a number, maybe it will give the ASCII value. You need to try that. But the useful version is you take the character input, which is a number, maybe 1 or 2 as a character input, and typecast it into integer value. Then you can perform addition and subtraction and anything else. Now your question is, if you get the input as integer, and what will be the float value? So it will give the number 0.00, I think. So that will be the float value.
Yes, sir. It is giving that only. So I'm basically asking what is typecasting.
Okay. So you know what is a data type, right? So a data type is a type of used for a variable, right? And uh, you're just converting a data type into some other data type, like you're converting integer into a float or string into an integer. So that is the process is called typecasting. So it is not a very, I mean, difficult word. I mean, don't think of it as a very out of the world word. It is a very simple word, and the meaning you can guess, and that should be the meaning. Like you just convert one data type into another.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Got it.
Next is the pointers question. Can anyone try that? Yeah, Mayur, go ahead. Keep it fast. Just if you just yeah, show the algorithm also. I'll talk about the algorithm also. That's also fine.
So can I share the screen? Or
Yes, and also it would be better if you could explain the questions. Okay, and then how did you approach it?
just Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes.
Now, can you see the code?
Yes.
Hmm. This is my code, ma'am. Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible, but just have a doubt. Did you use pointers?
Yes, ma'am. The J act as a pointer. I was.
Okay, so I
It
mean,
will.
we also had a similar question, question number 5. Yes, and so like it's just another version of that question, and in this question we have to use the pointer. And what you are showing is seems to be the code for the 5th question that has been explained. But it's okay, like you can explain this question also. Then we will explain 8th question.
Ma'am, I have written the code for the 7th question, no? 8th question, sorry.
No, I mean you have to use pointers. J is not the pointer, but yes, you can go ahead with the explanation of this question. Okay, the changes that I'm talking about, I will explain it after your explanation.
Okay, ma'am. So first I take the input or length of the size of the array, then the number which I have to find, then the array elements for taken the input, then I run the for loop from j is equals to 0. Sorry, for j is equals to 0 to n minus 1. Then if the array element is equals to x, then it will see out number found at the point j, otherwise it will see out number not found.
Is it working?
Yes, ma'am. I guess. Should I find the code?
Because in the if condition, yes.
Yes, it's not working. I guess I made some mistake.
The code is fine, but I think there is some issue with the pin code.
So, ma'am, is my screen visible now?
Yes, yes, your screen is visible.
So, ma'am, input length of the array. What? What is it? So, ma'am, it is working.
Yes. And you can stop sharing. Does anyone here know what are pointers?
Ma'am, pointer is a type of variable that stores the address of another variable. Let me see that.
Yes, right. Did you try this question?
No, ma'am. Like I haven't like tried the code yet.
You can do it right now. I
Okay.
will also do it from my side.
Okay, so in this question, I think Mayur showed, right? But he did not use pointers. So what you have to do is you have to define an array, and the addresses of the variables, addresses of the elements of array will be like consecutive. So if you say that the first element is stored at address 200 and integer is a 4 byte, integer takes 4 bytes, right? So the second element will be stored at 204. So right now, if you define a pointer which points to the address of the first variable, okay, and now what you do is you you increment the pointer variable. So what will happen is it will point to the next address, the consecutive address, which is the address of the second element. So like what you did in array, like if you did a and square bracket 1, you found the element at a second position. You'll have to do like star and then bracket, that normal brackets and p+1, then you'll find the address of the second variable. So like that you have to use the concept of pointer here, and you can traverse through the array by just incrementing the addresses of the pointer. You get it?
So like pointers are like indices.
So yeah, pointer is a variable, like Prasad I think said. Pointer is a variable, but you know that, right? Every variable has a particular address where it is stored. So what you do is you will point it to the first variable, first element of the array, and then you know that the next elements are having consecutive addresses. So you can just increment +1, then you will increment the pointer +1, then you will get the address of the next variable, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you can use the star to just write the value of that variable, and then you'll not print the address. So that way you can traverse the array using a pointer. So actually I will be leaving now. I have a class overlap here from 6:30. Mansi will be here, so you can ask her the doubts.
So are we clear with this question? Did you guys like get some idea?
Ma'am, in this, we have to print the addresses, right, of the values.
No, you have to print the value. I mean, it's a location. It's not not the address. What you have to print like the output should be the same as it was there in the earlier question, but you just need to use pointers to iterate through the array.
Okay.
Ma'am, what will be the output, the location or the value at the location?
The value and its location. By location, we mean its index.
Ma'am, I didn't understand what you said.
So you have to output the value and its index in the array.
Ma'am, both.
Yes. I mean, it won't be too much difference if you're already like getting an output of the index. You just need to print its value. Okay, I think we can go ahead for the next question. Did anyone try ninth question? Purvi, did you try? Mayur?
No, ma'am, I'm not familiar with structures.
Ma'am, do we have to use in these structures means oops?
Yes. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
Hello, Mansi.
yes,
Can
ma'am.
you hear me? Yeah. So, yeah, I was going through your class today, so it's okay. But what I'm right now seeing is that the attendance is very low now, right? When the start of the class, it was very high. So maybe it is closing to 7. That's why. But keep a record of the attendance also. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because see the important things are being discussed now, and if the students have left, I don't know how will they be able to do this. Okay, so please keep
Yes.
keep a look on the attendance also. Okay, carry on, good.
Is anything audible? Hello?
Yes, I am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Since none of you has tried this question, what I will do is I will share my screen, okay, and I will just explain you the basic. Rest you have to try it from your end also. Okay, and this is going to be very helpful in the coming assignment. Okay, so it would be better if you all get over like get some good knowledge of these concepts. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, so this code is written in C. Okay, so like you can, since we have like we have only 20 minutes left and we have to cover more questions. So I will just go through it quickly. Okay. So other syntax and what are structures exactly and what are the classes, so you can learn it from your end. So here what we have done is we have defined this structure animal. Here we have defined three variables. One is the age. I will just go through the question first. Okay. Yes. So the question is show the concept of structure to enlist a series of people, their name, age, and gender. Here, I am using like I have defined like not people. I have done it earlier. Okay. So here I had written this animal. Yes. So here I have defined this age, the name. For name, I have defined this character array, and for the gender, I have defined this character type. Okay. So now here what I am doing is I am asking for the number of entries that the user wants to input, and then this loop is will run for that number of entries that user has already input. Okay. So here like the question will be on the screen that enter the age of animal one. Okay. Then here so just a second. Yes. So this is the array that we are maintaining. I have defined it a default size of 10. Okay. And here the like what I'm doing is in this for a particular index for the first index I'm storing the age, name, and gender, and all three are have been stored all together for this index. And this is the input format, and this is the simply output. I'm just outputting is by like AI dot age. We use this. Did you guys use this in Python or like I'm not very familiar with the Python? What you have studied already? Anyone?
Ma'am, is AI the object?
Yes.
Ma'am, what is the work of I plus 1?
Well, I mean, it is just simply like just a second. So suppose I have entered 5, okay? So it will just show like 0 plus 1, like for the first entry. So it will not be the enter the age of animal 0. It will be like this animal 1. It is just for my convenience to read. You can also use I. But since the number of entries that we have filled is 5, so like for someone it would be pretty much clear if we start from like if the numbers that are there on the screen start from 1 to 5. It goes from 1 to 5. Okay.
Okay.
So suppose I mean there will be this entry. Here we have all since we have defined the character, so we have already mentioned that in which format we want the input, either M or F. Okay. So so this can be done for the other entries. Yes, so initially I entered the number of entries that I would like to make. Okay, and then for each entry, there were these are three questions that I have defined. First is for age, other is for name, and the third one was for gender. Okay, and this has been repeated for all the since I had entered 5, so this was repeated 5 times, and this is the output. Like this is the format in which we are getting the output. You can read a more on the structures and the classes. In this class, I can't explain in much detail. I hope you got some idea from this example. At least guys
Yes.
acknowledge.
Yes.
10th question is quite simple. It's simply just array addition. Do you guys know how to define array? Like 2D array and how to proceed with the addition? At least this you should know. You have been for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want me to explain or is it clear to all of you? Nikhil, can you explain this concept? Nikhil Gupta.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So for question 9, right?
For question 10, array addition.
Array addition. So we first will define an array. I guess we can ask for as the user for input of the size of the array. Then we'll define the array. Then we can iterate over all the elements and we can keep a variable sum which is initiated to 0, and then we can add each element and then finally print that sum.
Yes, so you have to show the array addition, like the output should not be one single sum. Like suppose you have to add 2 arrays and the third array should be the addition of the like array 1 and array 2.
So corresponding elements, like first element with the first element of second array.
Yeah, so you will be needing like in this 3 arrays, 1 and 2 for the input and third one for the output.
Okay.
And just also guys, just be clear like what like the number of rows and the number of columns that you are using for 2D or 3D arrays. Because in like in assignments you might be using arrays, okay, in some of the assignments. So I haven't seen the assignment, but in my time I think I had used array in some of the assignments. Okay.
Okay.
So it would be better to have a good practice on these concepts.
Okay.
Okay, so next question is show the concept of if else if in grading students from A and D and fail. So anyone would like to explain it?
Yes, ma'am, I've done it.
Okay.
I'll share my screen.
Okay, so this is for the
Or should
array
is
addition.
there if else? No, array addition I can explain verbally. I've not tried it like on code, but
Acha,
I've
okay,
tried
okay.
the
I showed.
fail pass.
I was seeing my ear Pandey. Yes, Sarthak, you can go ahead.
With the 11th one, right?
Yes.
If else wala. One minute, I'm sharing this. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah, so okay. Basically, if else is used whenever you have multiple conditions which you have to follow up, and there's a criteria which is set for any number. So basically, how I started was I used C code, and so this is standard hash include, then int min. So first I'm declaring the marks. So basically, the question is you have to tell what is the grade when the marks are given. So you have to first, I'm just asking the user to give me the marks and I'm scanning the marks. So then basically I'm just checking for each criteria. Now in if else, there's a thing that if in the if state, this is the if statement. Now either you can directly write, if you only have one comment or one line under if, then you don't need any brackets. Otherwise you'll have to put a bracket like that if there are more than one lines. Like suppose if I have to write printf something else over here, then I will have to then I have to put these curly braces, otherwise it's not required. So that's why I have not used it, because all my conditions were single line. So this is like a ladder. It's called an if else ladder if I'm not wrong. So like if the first if condition is not satisfied, it will just go down. So it would not consider what's written over here, and then it finds an else. So and the else is for this if. So then if this if does not work, it will see the else, and in that else again, because the else has a single line if, so again I don't need any brackets, and this if condition would be checking two numbers. Common mistake over here is we would sometimes write marks greater than 90 or marks equal to, but you have to give it a you have to check it. So if you will just write greater than 90 or equal to or something, like if you write equal to, then it would be repetitive, because like maybe two numbers will have the similar thing. So I have written 89 over here. The other common mistake which I was telling was probably you can assign, and instead of showing if it's greater or not, you might assign it by mistake. So just avoid that. And that it's simple. So then I'll just run the code. So I've already am custom inputting some number over here. Any input from you guys, or I'll just. Ma'am, do you want any specific input?
No, you can try.
So basically I had set the failing criteria below below 59. So that's too high, but yeah, anyways, that's my code.
Thanks for sharing.
Is that welcome?
Okay, we can do a quick question. 12th question is like anyone would like to share, and rest you all can study at your home. And if you have any doubts, we can discuss it in the next step. Anyone would like to explain while concept?
Yes, ma'am. I had used that in my code, the question number 2.
Yes, you can share it like again and explain.
The
I think you
screenshot
had
I've sent.
shared a screenshot in the
Yes,
chat,
ma'am.
right? Yes. Okay, so I have opened it also. Can you explain it, like basically what is while concept? Not this algorithm.
While is a kind of a loop which goes on iterating until a certain condition is met. So in the syntax, when we write while into the bracket, there is a condition given in the bracket which evaluates to either true or false. And if the condition is true, then the loop is the code inside the while loop is executed. Once the condition fails, the loop is exited and the code goes on after the while loop. So for while loop, we have a condition, and that once the while loop is executed inside the while loop, we also add a line where I've said n minus minus, that line, which changes the index of n so that the condition keeps on going forward.
Yes, right. And also there is a similar loop do while. So in while, first
the first condition is checked,
yes.
And in do while the code is executed first and then the condition is checked.
Yes, right. If anyone has any doubt in this question?
Ma'am, what is meant by code is executed first and then it checks the it's true or false in the while loop?
Yes. So I think it is better if I show you some code over this. The time is quite less. Yeah. So it means first you write a do and then you define like what you want to do. Okay. Suppose I want to add two integers, and like this c is the sum of a plus b. Okay. Then what I will do is I will first if I could define a program like a do c equals to a plus b, फिर bracket close, फिर मैं define करती हूँ कि what is like while c is less than this or c is greater than this. So what is happening is first already I have the value of c, Okay, and then I am checking the condition. Okay, so if the condition is met, okay, then then this code part will be executed again. If the condition is filled, then it will not be executed. But in the while loop, first the condition is checked. Okay, if the condition is not met, then then that code is not executed even for one. That's the only difference.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So you can practice these questions. Okay, and in the next class, in the next lab, okay, we will be starting with your first assignment. So we will be explaining you some of the basic concepts. Also, I would suggest to all of you to to go through the lectures regularly. Okay, whatever the content has been shared with you, because your assignments will be based on that only. And if you if you don't watch the lectures regularly, it is going to be very difficult for you. Okay, because once you know the concept, then you will have a good amount of time to do the assignment. Okay, but if you don't know the concept, then what you will be doing is you will be first reading the questions and then going over the videos and then trying that assignment, and a lot of time would be wasted. And trust me, you won't realize some, initially it seems like 1 week is a good amount of time that you have been given for just only one assignment. But since you have other classes also going on and other classes might also have tutorials, okay, so it would get difficult if you don't follow the lectures regularly. And it would be better if you come prepared. If you have gone through the lectures, then what we explain in this lab, it would be much easier for you to understand. Okay, because we will not be giving you the lectures over the concept. Okay, we will be only explaining the assignment. Okay, and the code you need to do it from your end.
Ma'am, is it possible that these sheets will be given beforehand?
No, I mean that is up to ma'am only. You will
मैम
get
तो हर
a
बार क्लास के
sufficient
पहले
time.
आप लोग
Yes.
क्लास के पहले आप लोग दोगे हर बार एंड क्लास के अंत तक हमें सबमिट भी करना होगा ना
नहीं, you will get time. Okay, but so this class में we will be explaining. Okay, even after lab, I don't remember exactly what deadline you guys. I think Mohit sir was saying now that 1 week will be given for the assignment. When I did this course, that we were given 1 week for this for completing one assignment. We had to submit the code a day before this lab. Okay, the assignment comes to us on Wednesday, then we had to submit it by coming Tuesday.
Okay.
So don't worry, this lab is just to clear your doubts. Okay, since in between, while before your deadline, there won't be any more labs. So that's why I'm just saying that it will be better if you come prepared. Okay, so that your doubts can be cleared.
मैं सो एटलीस्ट अगर सपोज नेक्स्ट वीक के वेडनेसडे के लिए जो असाइनमेंट होगा वो एटलीस्ट ट्यूसडे तक तो मिल जाएगा ना लाइक जस्ट टू प्रैक्टिस और विल गेट दिस इन दिस वीक इटसेल्फ कब तक मिलेगा लाइक because if we get it on the day of the lab itself then how will we have doubts because तब तक हम प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर पाएंगे चेक ही नहीं कर पाएंगे
You have to ask the lab, the lab timings are 5 to 7, and if you know the concept, then we will be also explaining how you can approach it. Then you can try it in the lab, and also you can approach us later also through Teams. I'm not really sure when the assignments will be scheduled. What I was told is that on the day of the lab.
all right thank you
Okay, and if I get any update, okay, you will be notified.
Okay.
Also, please ask your friends to stay till the end, and those who haven't joined today have missed a lot of things. Okay, because this is going to be very helpful in the coming assignment. we can end here if you guys don't have any more doubts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.